Welcome back. This video is going to look at the branch example from the assignment guide. So branch statements in the little man computer are how we make decisions, how we choose to do one thing or another. I've taken this example, I've already got it input into my workbook, so here it is. To kind of spoil the surprise, this program is basically an absolute value program. It's going to accept some input and always give us a positive version of whatever that input was. If we want to write out what this code basically has to do at a high level, well, we're going to get a number. If the number is positive, there's nothing to do, we just print it out. If the number is negative, well, then we have to turn it into a positive version and print that. The if is kind of the dead giveaway that we have to make a decision, that we're going to have a branch. So in our workbook, let's kind of watch how this works, that basic strategy, how we implement that basic program. So I'm going to hit reset just to make sure we're ready to go and start stepping. All right, want some input. So let's start with a positive number. I put in 10. We get that in the accumulator. I hit step 310, so we stored that number. So always a good idea after we get some input to store it in case we need to get that value back and we've done something else in the meantime. Now 806. 806 means branch. 800 is branch if greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to look at what's in the accumulator, 10. If that's greater than or equal to 0, which it is, then we want to branch to XX, which 806, so we want to go to step 6. So if I hit step this time, instead of just going to the next instruction, we're going to bounce right down to instruction 6. Skip all that stuff in the middle and do 902, which is output. So we print out our number, and now we do instruction 0, which is end. Program's done. Alright, that was the positive version. Let's reset everything. It's probably safe to leave that value in there because we're going to overwrite it, but I'm just going to delete it so that we're exactly back to how we were when we started. So this time I'm going to run it, but when I'm asked for input, I'm going to put in, let's say, -3. Okay, so that's in the accumulator. If I step, we store -3. Now we're going to do the branch. So if the accumulator is greater than or equal to 0, well, it's not. So since the condition here isn't met, we're not going to take the branch. We're not going to jump ahead, and we're just going to keep marching on. So we get to 511. Load what's in 11. Well, that's got 0, so basically it's just going to load the number 0. Now we're going to do 210, subtract what's in location 10. Well, that's where we put our input. So we're going to have 0 minus our input. So 0 minus -3, we get +3. Now we're going to store back into location 10. By subtracting our input from 0, we turned it positive. Now we're going to store that back to that same location to wipe out the negative version. And now we're going to output our answer. We've basically rejoined the place where the positive version of the program branched to, and we're going to use the same output instruction no matter what, only this time because we're working with a negative value, we took the long path here and did the extra work in the middle. But now we'll do the output and end the program. Basically, anytime a program has to make a decision, maybe to run this code, maybe to run that code, it's going to have to use one of these branch instructions.